Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back into the Nexus Gaming series. My name's Bahamut, and we're getting into a Division B West matchup. On the left-hand side, we have Spooky Ghosts with Colludius, I believe, is going to be on the Malthael, Little Wolf on that Malfurion, Rogoth on the Mephisto, it looks... No, it's going to be on the Uther. We have Boundary X on that Mephisto, and Eric with a K is going to be on the Hogger. For the right-hand side, everyone's favorite, we have got the members of Randy Newman. We are going to be seeing Randy Newman on the Gul'dan, Nandy Ruman on the Gazlo, Randy Newman on the Deathwing, Majesty Newman going to be on the Anduin, and Wandy Wooman going to be on the Leoric. That did just take a quick little hearth at the start of the game. We're into our level 1s. We're in the mid lane. Let's see what our first engagement does look like, as this is just a whole lot of aggression from the Leoric trying to step into the enemy team, is not able to set up anything as Boundary, right? Boundary? Yeah. Boundary X is going to be able to just throw out a little bit of damage here and there. Did go into the Unyielding Power at level 1, building out those Skull Missiles. At 20 stacks, they are able to get 100 extra damage, and at 40 stacks, they get an additional Skull Missile. Gul'dan is going to be going into the Echoed Corruption, so once they finish out those 40 stacks in totality, we'll be able to have the steps back on that Corruption ability itself. Malfurion going into the level 1 talent that I say is broken. There's nothing actually broken about it. On a bug factor sense, I just think it's an insane talent to put in Heroes of the Storm and leave in for as long as it has been since our patch in early March. Just saying. I was actually on Into the Nexus earlier today, and I did flame the fact that we've only had... I said 3 patches this year. I was wrong. We've had 2 patches this year. We've had 2 patches so far in 2021 for Heroes of the Storm, as we are in late April. Just saying. Missed the end of the last series. Who won? Spoilers for anyone that was worried or didn't want to hear it, so just rambling for a few seconds so you can mute the stream. The winners of the last best of 3 of Minion Miners versus... oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. Manavel is going to be Minion Miners. They took that 2-0. All right, team fight over the camp for the bottom lane. We are going to see the Hogger hog wild around, finding a kill actually from the side of Randy Newman and team into that Uther. Boundary getting very low, but getting some ghost heals from Uther and Little Wolf. Chastise doesn't connect from Majesty. Eric with a K trying to back off, eating a lot of those corruption stacks from Gul'dan, sitting at 10 out of the 40, so a quarter of the way through that one. Mephisto at 13 out of the 40, so a little bit beyond quarter. I'm not going to do that split little math or that fractional math really quickly, but it is going to be full Mephisto Skull Missile build for now. We'll have to see how that changes into some later talents. Frozen Punisher will be first in the mid lane. That is actually going to be up for contest in about 30 seconds. So until then, it's going to be rotating around looking for 7 talent tiers. We typically see that during our control point A, our first objective phase of the game. I'm still mentally on Alterac Pass, or oh my god, Volskaya Foundry. Volskaya Foundry isn't in the CCL season, so my brain's just like on the CCL map pool. So I'm just like, yeah, Alterac Pass. Also, we talked about it a bunch on Into the Nexus today. Which, by the way, if you missed it, I was on Into the Nexus earlier today with Garrett and Kyle. We had a blast talking about the CCL draft. We kind of just went through a little bit of who got picked and some just initial kind of titles, if you would give to like a team. Like, based off of their draft, like, oh, is this team going to be, like, are these the up-and-comers, or is this the team to grow, blah, blah, blah. We also talked a little bit about some random stuff, as well, as I am very, very good at Monka steering a lot of conversations to off the cliff, essentially. So, like, at one point, I got us onto a whole conversation about Zul'jin level 1s, because I was just like, ooh, let's talk about Zul'jin, team! I love Kyle and Garrett because they're just like, all right, Bahamut, let's do it. I'm just like, oh, hell yeah. I love it when they're just yes-anding me and letting me talk about whatever. Speaking about talking about whatever, Randy Newman on the Deathwing goes down to the loot stash from that Hogger. There's that level 1 Bones to Gnaw. Loot Hort creates a chunk of meat. Oh, no. I thought this gave it burning. That's a different talent, apparently. So, does loot stash deal additional initial damage when it lands? Is that? Because I thought that hit him. Dealing 134 damage in an area. Okay, so it does. Okay, it does do baseline damage. I actually didn't know that. Like, for example, Shade of Mephisto, if you didn't know, it does a little bit of damage when you blink in on top of a target. So it's one of those things to consider a little bit. Lieutenant Ramza? Is it Ramza? I hope that's the right way to say it. Thanks for the follow, my friend. Glad you're enjoying the content. Frozen Punisher for mid lane in favor of Randy Newman and team. Kaludius is doing their best to just push out this top lane against the Gazlo, who's not making things easy. Deathwing will be able to throw some damage over the wall, but it doesn't seem like they're sieging too hard with this Punisher. Looks like it actually might just be a front gate for the fort, which is fairly common for some teams. The reason I'm hesitating a little bit is because I've seen a lot more CCL teams, and even our higher echelon, obviously I'm comparing Division B to higher team skill levels, but oftentimes I feel like we see a little bit more than this, and maybe I'm looking at it a little too early here, because it is going to be the front gate plus about half the fort. So actually, all in all, this is more the average that I was expecting and kind of what I was getting at. I was thinking, I was like, ooh, are we not going to get the new kind of standard? Because in a sense, this has become the more of a norm, in my opinion, or Infernal Shrines to be able to have the front gate plus some decent damage onto the fort. That's a big advantage in my opinion, especially through mid lane where you can throw in all of those siege camps. Leoric and Wraith walk their way into this. Wandy Woman in a bit of an awkward spot as they get knocked into the wall with the staggering blow. Leap of Faith is used onto Wandy, who's doing their best to actually steal some health with the Drain Hope, but Kaludius comes in on this Malthael, is able to set up the kill into Leoric. Doesn't manage to find a secondary kill, but the camp still goes over to the side of our blue team. Gazlo free pushing through top lane is equalizing in all of this experience as well. But we do have more heroic kills. We are having more minion experience. Actually, not even minion experience. Wow, I was actually expecting to look down at this number and it being vastly different, but it's still very neck and neck. As I'm actually looking at this, it's still a close game here. Teams are keeping pace with each other fairly well. We'll have to see if the members of Spooky Ghost can jump ahead over Randy Newman and friends, or will this be a bit of a stalemate to the later half of the game? We'll have to see. We'll have to see as the 10 Talonteers come through. Mephisto, Durance of Hate, Uther holding. Tranquility actually for this Malfurion, and Majesty is doing their best to run away. Hogger finds a really good Hog Wild, but it's not going to be enough damage to get the kill into Majesty as Randy Newman on the Gul'dan throws a little bit of damage back. Which Talon is OP? Wait, what? Oh, this one. Emerald Dreams at level 1 for Malfurion. It's just stupid amounts of CC, because it's what? 1.5 seconds of root plus 2 seconds sleep, 3.5 seconds of CC and Heroes of the Storm. I understand if you hit the hero, they wake up, but if you hit the hero with a stun, then they're still standing still. So it's such a stupid... It's such a stupid level of amplification to a hero that I understand Malfurion wasn't that prioritized, but now he is insanely strong and way higher prioritized. Not a fan. It just feels like way too drastic of a, hey, this hero doesn't get enough pick value, let's give him this. And it feels that way. That's all. That's just my opinion on it. This is just also Bahamut armchair developing. I have never developed a game in my entire life, so I have to keep that in mind as well when I talk about these things, because it's not like I have indefinite knowledge or infinite knowledge of how things should go for Heroes of the Storm, or MOBAs in general, because I've never balanced a game in my life, and that probably has some lack of understanding into Emerald Dreams, maybe. But that's just my opinion on it. That's just all. Sleep is broken. I think its sleep root's broken. That's just me, though. It's 1 or 2 seconds less than Honest Sleep. Yeah, but here's the thing. Honest Sleep is a skill shot. This is a gigantic circle on the ground that if you step into while it's available, then you get rooted and slept. That's the thing, is you can't, well, I mean, you can step into Honest. You know what I mean here, chat. Anyways, there's a Durance of Hate. There's going to be a Tormented Souls from the Malfurion or Malthael, excuse me, stepping into the enemy team. Tranquility used by Little Wolf on that Malfurion. Kaludia stepping in. Wandy Woman getting very low on this. Leoric does go down. Another kill over to the side of Spooky Ghost as Kaludius is pushed into the gate by the Bellowing Roar of Deathwing, but Deathwing still goes down in the end, and it's looking like our objective phase will go over to the side of our blue team, Spooky Boys. Excuse me, Spooky Ghosts. I was thinking of Spooky Bookie Boys from the Nexus division, but Spooky Ghosts are going to be a little frightening here and force the enemy team off the point, finding a few more kills and all of that, and pushing their experience even further ahead towards that 13 talent tier. Oh, no, yeah. I was just saying, like, in comparison, like, Ana's is, like, I'm not defending my point. I'm just saying, like, it's just in comparison, like, duration, it's not, like, It is a little bit about duration, but it's also the fact of it's on top of it. Like, if it was a root sleep at the same time, maybe, but it's a sleep after the root expires, which it's just so rough. It's just so absolutely rough. I guess it does force more opportunities of cleanse, but cleanse is a longer cooldown than root is for Malfurion. Anyways, we're off the subject. Hortipult in from Eric with a K. This is a great siege for the side of Spooky Ghost into Randy Newman's bottom lane. Punisher is going to still stay alive. Great Horrify. Actually, no. That Horrify actually looked like it meant to go the other way. Randy Newman and crew were like, oh, well, I guess we don't get a pull onto the Mephisto, so no kill onto them. But the Punisher continuing to siege in with a few % of health left onto them, 14 to 13 in levels, and this will be the disengage from Spooky Ghost. Also, by the way, Black Milk, good to see you. How you doing, friend? If Mephisto goes for the 5.5 silence at 20, then it'll be spicy. Ooh, indeed. Ooh, indeed. But here's the thing, in comparison, that's also level 20. I know you're not making a counterpoint or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, look, if you're gonna put like a sleep silence, like put it up further in Malfurion's kit. Don't give it to him at level 1. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm really getting at, all right? I had an Abyssal Brawl run, so checking it in before heading off. Oh, nice. If the root slept when you landed instead of after the root... Oh, true. Okay, I see, Tim. How you doing, bud? Alrighty. So I'm trying to skim chat and also keep my eyes on the game. Stun goes out. Oh, wow. Oh, no! Oh, no! The Hogger displacement! It still doesn't matter because Hogger chases him down with the... Hog Wild, and that'll be another kill over the side of Spooky Ghosts, as the third Punisher, if I'm not mistaken, will be Mortar and in the top of our map. Jeez. It's crazy, though. Like, it's crazy even though there was a little miscommunication or a little bit of counterplay. Spooky Ghosts still find the kill, which is a little terrifying as the game does progress because they're already finding kills like this, and it's just sub 16. Randy Newman and crew are looking for this. Looks like Wandy Woman DC'd on this Leoric. Okay. No pauses. I guess they're going to be utilized right there. And Leoric will... Okay. Leoric's getting pinged, and that's the reason... the bot Leorics, if they don't get pinged, they actually just sit in core. So you have to ping them to come to you. Fun fact, if no one knew that, actually. The bots will automatically just go and hearth that core and sit there and expect you to reconnect, as Wandy Woman actually reconnects during this engagement, tries to go onto this Divine Shield, Tormented Souls Mephisto. Randy Newman on the Deathwing taps the well. Damage over time is going to be enough, and Mephisto finds the kill onto Deathwing. The Orc gets picked off as well. A double kill in the end for the side of Spooky Ghosts. 9-1 in kills. Order Punisher for top lane as Gazlo keeps split pushing this top lane up and up and up, forcing the rotations from Maltheo. But that's not a bad rotation whatsoever. You get the you get the wave, and then you jump over to the camp and push that up through the top lane, as you do have the Mortar Punisher coming out in a few moments here. Map, though, is pretty even between these teams. I would actually say, all in all, Randy Newman and crew do have the advantage, at least in structural damage and siege so far. We'll have to see how this works out during our next objective phase, because this, if picked up by the side of Randy Newman, could be keep front gate and maybe some damage on the keep. I don't think game, but you never know. On the opposing side, for the members of Spooky Ghost, if they get this, they're sieging in through a lot of this top lane. A ways to go for the members of our blue team. We'll have to see how it all plays out here. How can you die when you're already dead? By disconnecting. If Gaz was there, they would have had a better chance. I could see that. Yeah, I was looking at the top lane. Gazlo, I think, is just trying to get that split push value, and it's one of those things where I think Randy Newman and crew are like, all right, we're going to try our best and 4v5 and not die, but during that time, Gazlo, you need to get value, and unfortunately, it's just these split moments, they're not getting what I think Randy Newman and crew are expecting or prioritizing in a sense. Majesty and Deathwing are over here really, I wouldn't say sacrificing a lot of health, but Deathwing can only be healed up by tapping the well, getting a regeneration globe, or taking flight to the sky, so this is going to be semi-permanent damage on the Deathwing. Granted, they did go into the Molten Blood at level level 1, so this is going to be an ability for them to be able to heal some of that up. But Rogoth is going to be able to throw out the Holy Shock. I was like, what? Why did Deathwing take a little bit of damage right there? But you're actually seeing the value of that Molten Blood come through. Ooh. You can't stun Deathwing. He actually stood still because he was proccing the Bellowing Roar to force back the enemy team, but some of that armor plating falling on the Deathwing as the fort immediately went down in favor for the side of Spooky Ghosts, pushing their way in through this top lane with a Mortar Punisher. Leap of Faith will save the Gul'dan. Bellowing Roar, excuse me, not Bellowing Roar, Molten Flame from Randy Newman, trying to get some damage out as well, as the Punisher is working its way up in this top lane, mostly focusing onto the well, which is a little bit of a rough go. You mostly want this Punisher on the structure itself, but a good pull from the side of Randy Newman and crew towards the lower half of the lane with that Leap of Faith, so the Punisher focuses onto a less important target. Wells are important, but not as important as having your keep up. Deathwing actually goes down to the Nexus forces. I did not see how that happened. We do have the Leoric going down to the Malthael, and this is going to be a double kill. Leoric able to cheat death, but no Punisher, so it seems like the siege is going to be done for now on the side of Spooky Ghost. But speaking of siege, meanwhile, Hogger was grabbing some camps for this mid lane. Double Impaler coming through. Uther and team could look to take down this mid lane fort and find parity in structures. Will that be actually plausible? Deathwing and Leoric down for the next 20 or so seconds. Ooh, the Durance of Fate misses the Gazlowe this time. And here's the thing. Did you see how long Gazlowe was sitting still right there? Nothing. I'm not trying to give any flame to Mephisto for missing the skill shot, but I'm saying is like, look how long that Gazlowe stood still, and just there were opportunities just to, well, do stuff like this. Gravel Bomb was actually self-cast to try and force out the enemy team. Majesty Newman on the Anduin goes down to the damage over time, and it's going to be a triple kill just as Leoric and Deathwing respawn. Definitely a fort through mid lane in favor for the side of our blue team. They could actually go sneeze on the top lane keep if they really wanted to. Hogger could maybe even hog wild against the... No, Hogger could throw like a loot stash against this. Or maybe Hortipult it. No, they don't have Hortipult for the next 20-some seconds. There it is. Oh no, easy throw Dynamite. That's all that was necessary. Bellowing Roar, not going to be enough. Hogger is going to hog wild away, finds a bit of a bounce, but he isn't going to go any further than that. Arcane Punisher for bottom lane next, and some soft push coming in through this lane as well. Anduin, Gul'dan, and Gazlowe dead for the next 15+ seconds. And so this siege, I do not disagree with whatsoever. Did you mean no shade to Mephisto? Yes, 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 yes. I agree. You're going to split value, but they decide to group up and they'll win team fights. No, hey. Thoughts and opinions, they're welcome. They're absolutely welcome. You could be right. You could be absolutely right with that. I think there's a point to be made with what you're saying. I think the Gazlowe could have offered more in some of those earlier team fights, and now that the experience deficit has formed in the 20 talent tiers here, the members of Spooky Ghost are really controlling the map and getting a lot of strong rotations consistently. Randy Newman gonna get caught out, not caught out, scouted out in the aggressive position. Not even that, just defensive position at this point. Because I would say aggressive, but realistically, everything the side of Spooky Ghosts are doing, they're the ones being the aggressors as they are playing far into the enemy side of the map. And by enemy side of the map, basically draw an imaginary line down the center of the map, as here's the storm maps are symmetrical. And so you could basically draw it from center to center, down the middle of it, and that's kind of the halfway point, if you will. So playing this far down to the lanes is typically considered very aggressive when you have an advantage. The reason being is they have 20 talent tier advantage, but also your disengage path. Look at how far you have to go. If a 5v5 breaks out in this bottom lane, Spooky Ghosts have to rotate all this way to start, all this way to start getting to a safety point. So it's just one of those things to consider. Your retreat path is a big factor, and here's the storm. And if you can't take the team fight and you have to run away, well, you don't want a long distance runaway, especially against a Leoric, a Gul'dan, Chastise from an Anduin, Gravel Bomb from a Gazlowe. There's a lot of things to consider here, and these are very just little, these are a lot of niche things that might not have any impact in this game, but it's things to consider overall in our Heroes of the Storm game. Light Bomb onto Randy Newman will connect onto Malthael, who self-cleanses, might have actually got a cleanse from the Uther. Big old black hole from the Gazlowe. Hogger gonna go no control against this enemy team, and this enemy team is getting shut down. Mephisto is going to be traded out for the Leoric. Hogger going to hog wild once again. Deathwing goes down to the Malthael. Anduin goes down, as well as the Gazlowe. This core is actually being pushed in by the Shaman camp through the top lane, and we actually have a chase. Oh my god, Eric with a K. Dear lord. Randy, Newman, and team are going to be dominated. Catapults arrive to core through the top lane. The members of Spooky Ghosts are going to just kind of sidestep the keep through bottom. Malthael finishes out the Punisher. Oh no, everyone should hearth. There's camp pushing. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to be core falling fairly fast, I would say. I mean, Hogger was just hog-wilding around for a little bit right there. Punisher's just now arriving in the bottom lane keep. I don't think it actually jumps past the keep. I think it's actually just going to focus on the keep itself. So slowly but surely, this will be core falling down in favor for Spooky Ghosts. Wandy Woman on the Leoric is trying to find the counterplay, but it's just not going to be enough. The Punisher's still working on the bottom lane keep. Works its way now to the core itself. We'll get one, maybe two autos in. Actually focusing onto the minion wave. So the Punisher, pretty much useless, actually gets the last hit on the core. GG, well played. Over to the side of Spooky Ghosts. They go up 1 in our best of 3 series. Slowest core death ever. It's up there. Definitely up there. During that game. Oops, sorry about that. Agento Philalic? Philalic? I think is how you say that. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, exactly. A strong game from Spooky Ghosts. A very strong game. Ooh, 69 seconds left on Tranquility. Very nice. Very nice. Okie dokie, everybody. We ready to get into our next game? Or I guess our next map? Alright, sorry, I'm just checking Discord messages really quickly. Back to Bandit Night, everybody. Spooky Ghosts go up 1. They go up 1 in our best of 3 series. Let's get the next map loaded up and see what's gonna happen here. I hope you're all enjoying the games. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. As a reminder, tomorrow morning, yes, morning. God, Jesus Christ, it's like 12, not 12 hours. 12 hours is probably when I'm gonna wake up, realistically. But we are going to do a EU-friendly stream. I'm trying to do more of those as much as I can with the schedule that I do have. But tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. PDT, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. PDT, I'm not 100% sure at how quickly I'm going to get moving tomorrow. But we will get into some viewer games. We're going to be doing quick match. And let me actually quickly show you all. I actually have this wonderful bot. Oop, don't do that just yet. I don't want to showcase anything. Bahamut.tv. Look at this. Look at this. We have a website, everybody. This is our website. Victory. You scored a drop? Wait, what drop? Oh. It's because I have a stream open in the other room, that's why. Look at this. Look at this, everybody. We have a website. Woo! Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. So tomorrow morning, if you join the in-game channel /join Baha in Hots chat, and then that way I can pull you in. But if you're literally in Twitch chat, you just do !join, and then you will be put into the queue list. And then if you're like, oh wait, I gotta go to a meeting, I gotta go do something, you can do !leave. So we actually have this this entire little UI built out. Let me show you really quickly. It's not built out, but it's thanks to Big Scary Duck, who put all of this together and also donated to us. We have this little thing. So you can actually see during the games, you can actually see we'll have this up and available, who's up next, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So yeah, we've got some viewer games for tomorrow morning. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. Yeah. Websites are underrated. I agree. I agree. I very much agree. There's a lot of really cool stuff with that. Like, I really want to get back into doing photos. I used to take a lot of photos, and I'd like to get back into doing it. It's just time, and now that I don't work a job or like a full-time real job, I cherish this though. This is my real job. I do want to take more photos this summer, so I'm gonna try and do that. Maybe I can find a way to put like photos up on that website. Really quickly, if you're wondering, here, let me show you. I had a couple photos in an art gallery at one point too. Oh god, this hard drive. Come on. Come on, hard drive. This is my oldest hard drive. It's my storage hard drive. So it's a little on the older side. Let me see. Where's the one photo I got into a gallery? Is it in this folder? No. Oh god, where is it? It's Night Shoot or something like that. Oh god, how many night shoots did I go on? Oh, here it is. Which one was it? It's a lot of, I figured out how to do a lot of like light trail stuff, and there was a really cool spot that I used to go to for it. Oh, maybe it's not this one. Just like a lot of, I used to do a lot of this kind of stuff. There you go. A lot of light trails. Overexposure at night sort of deal. So you just get the taillights of a car. I actually had a cop one time come by, and no joke, he's like, you guys should have like some like taillights on in your car so people don't hit you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I go up to the cop car and I'm like, do you mind like driving by with your lights on and stuff? He's like, that's illegal. I'd have to call it in and everything that I turned on my lights. And I'm like, really? Really? You have to call in when you turn on your lights? Does anyone know a cop? Is that true? I feel like that's absolutely a lie. And he was just like, here it is, here, sorry. This is the photo that I got into a gallery. I'm actually really proud of this. I wanted to show it to you all. This is the one photo I got into a gallery. They do it for kids all the time? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. How you doing, role players? This one I'm really proud of though. I'm really, really happy with that one. And then I used to take shows at like, shows at like this thing called Funk Night and stuff like that as well. Yeah, good times. Good times. All right, let's go ahead and yeah, I used to do a lot of photography. But now that I'm an adult, you know, there's things that take priority. But I wanna try and do it more this summer. So we'll attempt. If I recall correctly, if their lights go on, so does their dash cams, so that wouldn't be a surprise to me. Could be wrong though. Let's look at it. Let's do some quick Googling, everybody. Do Michigan cops have to call in turning on their lights? Let's see. Ask a trooper. When can or should a law enforcement activate? All right, it's from Petoskey. Petoskey's in Michigan. It's in the Upper Peninsula, but hey. All right, this has nothing to do with what I'm actually asking for. There are very particular reasons. First, they aren't familiar with the house. Oh, okay. This is just why they're not turning. I have to do some research after stream. It's funny because I dated the daughter of a cop in high school and I could have just asked him. But anyways, let's get into a game, everybody. Let's find out what happens with this best of 3 series. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Spooky Ghosts up 1 in our best of 3. Kaludi's going to be on the Kael'thas. Lone Wolf will be on the Bright Wing. We've got Rogoth on the Muradin. Boundary X is going to be on the Greymane, and Eric with a K on the Diva. For the right-hand side, we have the members of Randy Newman trying to take us to a game number 3 through Garden of Terror. Randy Newman on the, I think that's a May? Yeah. Nandy Ruman going to be on the Cassia, Majesty Newman going to be on the Sonia, Randy Newman on the Stukov, and Randy Newman on the Falstad. Let's look at our level 1s. No convection, so no bets this game. Nice texturing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have a lot more. I didn't do all night photos. I used to do a lot of like landscape and stuff like that as well. I'll have to dig for those. Maybe I don't know if chat's interested in looking at that stuff. Maybe I'll post them in Discord at some point. Maybe I'll go through and have a couple beverages and reminisce on my photos later. But either way, Falstad going to be going into auto attack build because, well, we all talked about why that's the only reason he can. That's the only talent he can take at 1. You could go into the Gathering Storm, but why would you at this point? Honest to God, it just feels nerfed. It feels nerfed where it's not even. It's like, ooh, 15 reduced spell armor. Okay. I guess that's good if you're going into another mage, but I feel like our mage meta is so lackluster. Like we're in the age of auto attacks. It is all about, like, the only mages we see not only because we're seeing a Kel'Thas over here on the left hand side, but it's just we don't see many mages prioritized. There's not like Jaina Gul'dan, Kel'Thas, Kel'Thuzad, Orphea, and mostly I'm talking about CCL meta when I'm looking at this. Obviously, during NGS and stuff like that, we have more comfort picks. We have different play styles, different rankings as well. So it's just one of those things to consider when we look at like the CCL meta, which is constantly what I'm considering because that's my job at this point on the weekends, is like, all right, well, why are we not seeing a lot of mages? Well, the auto attack has been kind of at the forefront. Wave clear's been pretty good. It's not like you need that mage for burst because burst still exists through a lot of the heroes that you have. Through the Sonya, through even Falstad. I mean, it's weird to say Falstad has burst, but it's the same thing as saying like Samuro has burst because he absolutely can burst you down with all of those clones as well as some of the Way of the Blade abilities, or excuse me, not Way of the Blade abilities, but talents as well. Just the way that you can scale the Samuro throughout games. That's another hero that I really hope to see a lot more of in Season 2 of CCL. I was actually talking about that on Into the Nexus. They were asking me, they're like, what's a hero that you want to see more of? And I was like, Chen and Valeera. It's true, like, all memes aside, like, I even said, like, I was like, of course Cho'Gall, but I don't need to say that. Everyone knows I want to see it. But I want to see more Valeera. I feel like Valeera is one of those heroes that, she's really not undervalued, but I think she's got unique playstyle factors that can actually be insanely strong for some teams on, like, let's say Towers of Doom. Like, with Brightwing being a wonderful target, being able to silence them and burst them down, I think Valeera could be an insane priority. But then you also have things like Peekaboo that can mitigate Valeera's sneakiness. Anyways, my thoughts on that aside, we can talk about that more after this game, because we've been having these nice little like breaks in between our games where I've just been chatting with you all. But this Kael'thas getting very low, hammering in from the Falstad to poke as well. Cludius getting very low, does go down. Kill over to the side of Randy Newman, but Randy Newman's going to lose their Mei, so it'll be a 1-for-1. Kael'thas for the Mei. First objective phase up and available. Seed could be gathered by either side. Barrel roll away by Randy Newman on the Falstad. Managed Newman on the Sonya does go down. That's going to be 3-for-1. Over to the side of Spooky Ghosts. And they'll have the first seed of the game. Oh, wait, not just yet. Not just yet. Boundary X is still trying to channel this. Is that long pitch? No. Okay, I for some reason thought that Randy Newman on the Stukov had the long pitch for the. That was the reason the weighted Pushta went so far. But wow, Randy Newman and crew are forcing the Spooky Ghost off this point, but Spooky Ghost just find 7 talent tier themselves. I want to see, does Brightwing have Phase Shift up and available? It just came off a cooldown, so some big burst healing could come in. Randy Newman on the Falstad, barrel rolls away. Phase Shift in onto Rogoth on that Muradin. Randy Newman on the Falstad does go down to Eric with a K. Another kill over to the side of our blue team. And Spooky Ghost trying to keep their Greymane alive. He's able to walk away with a couple hundred health. Cassia, though, going to be chasing on in with the Fend, and she will find a little bit of parity in this. 4-3 in kills. It's 4 minutes in, chat, and we've had 7 kills total with the Falstad. I might actually be able to fly on into this engagement. I'm looking really quickly. Flight's off of cooldown. Just need to get in range for it if you want to utilize it. Randy Newman on the Cassia, very low. Randy Newman on the Stukov, low as well. Falstad flies in, hammering goes out. There's going to be the lightning rod damage. Great Stormbolt, but that does not stop the lightning rod sustained damage, and Falstad finds the kill into Muradin. Our 8th kill of the game, 4 minutes and 30-some seconds in, and this now is going to be seed over to the side of Randy Newman. I called that so early for Spooky Ghost. I thought they had it, but ooh, this Falstad barrel rolls away, is going to be able to back off. Chromie, Mephisto, two of the biggest mages, followed by Tassadar. I would agree with you. Tassadar, I don't see any of in CCL. Like, even in in-houses, I do not see Tassadar whatsoever. I honest to God feel like it's Chromie and Mephisto, as you said, with a sprinkle, a smidgen, the tiniest amount of Jaina and Kael'thas. Maybe some Gul'dan. Those three, and Orphe as well. Those four show up maybe a 10th of the time in comparison to Mephisto and Chromie. So I absolutely agree. I was forgetting about the other two actual mages we have. It's just weird because like lane clear isn't too much of a struggle for a lot of our auto attackers, and some of the auto attackers we have, like Falstad, really scale through these lanes, and Falstad baseline did have that boomerang from level 7 baked into the hammering itself, so your Q has the activatable baseline rather than having to pick it up as a talent. I want to point this out. I point this out as much as I can on Garden of Terror. Did you see what happened, everybody? Greymane started channeling while Caludius on the Kael'thas was pulling the sappers away, those little defenders around the seed, so that way there's a potential for a channel faster on the side of Spooky Ghost. Little optimizations like that really can pay dividends for you in the later half of the game, or even in early game when you're just trying to get a quick seed before the enemy team can rotate. But speaking of rotations, this is a super good dive and rotation out from the side of Spooky Ghost as they confirm a 4th kill. That's a quad kill and a seed, while Falstad free pushes bottom lane. I take that trade all day. I am fine with this trade. You have bolstered your experience. You have found 4 kills. You have map control. The only thing I would actually say is realistically, while they were taking this chase, like Murden was right here, I feel like Spooky Ghost actually could have made a quick rotation and taken this bruiser camp away from the enemy side, and if necessary, D.Va could have rotated out, but oh my god, D.Va gets in her mech with probably 60-some health right there. I didn't even proc the number, but I saw a sliver on her health bar as she is going to be fine for now, but whoo, that got a little hairy there for a second on that D.Va side. Mitch, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. I feel like Orphe is going to start making more appearances in CCL. I would hope so. Li Ming's really good as well. Li Ming is very good as well. Another mage that I forget, but at the same time, I just feel like mages aren't the priority. Like, I talk about Li Ming, even McIntyre talks about Li Ming. Or no, was it? No, it was Crowan. It was like Crowan who was talking quite a bit about Li Ming, as well as, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking back to all the free agent tournaments we had. It was Michael Udall who was like, not harping, but really like, hey, Li Ming on Battlefield of Eternity, this is her map. And I absolutely agree. I wouldn't say she's niche by any means. I feel like Li Ming's one of those few mages that work on every map. Oh, Rogoth misses the Stormbolt. It went into the well, unfortunately. Oh, the well eating the shot from Muradin. That would have actually set up the kill into Wendy Newman on the Mei right there. But in the end, Mei survives. Sonya and Cassia push hard through the top lane with the bruiser camp that was grabbed earlier. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, if the bruiser camp was stolen away when that Stukov and that quad kill happened, this is not something that could have happened for Spooky Ghost. But obviously, hindsight's 2020, and I can say this as I, happen to throw out the fact of, hey, they should do this one camp. Murden did go into what I would consider the more tanky build for himself, did go into that 3rd wind at level 1 to allow them to have a higher threshold on their trait healing. I believe it goes from like 40 to 60%. Yeah. Thunderburn as well, which probably will see healing static as well. I think healing static's at like 13, 16, right? Or did it get, no, healing statics, yeah. Healing statics is post 10 talent, like it's 13, 16. I'm pretty sure. Avalanche comes out from the Mei to force back the enemy team. Falstad flies into the bush just above, but everyone did see that come through. A lot of damage goes out into Mei, who does pop the cryo freeze, while lightning extended out to a few of the members in the backline, but it does end. Phoenix comes out as well. Greymane dives in as well. Doesn't have go for the throat, but threw that curse bullet out as well. Jump in from the Muradin, but the kills come through from the D.Va. Triple kill overall from the side of Spooky Ghost as the Gust comes out from Falstad. Saves Randy Newman on the bird, but still Sonya stuck in this team fight. Majesty trying to back off. D.Va trying to rush things down. Sustained damage out from her miniguns, but in the end, Little Wolf gets the channel. Seeds will spawn out for the members of, Garden Terrors will spawn out for the side of Spooky Ghost, and we are looking at the Garden Terror spawning equally in mid and top, but very far back through the bottom lane. I always like to note as well for this map, the spawn is similar in a sense to Tomb of the Spider Queen. The Garden Terror will spawn up as far as your minion wave is. So let's say your minion wave is cleared out right here, and it's now pushing up from all the way back at your keep front gate. That's where the Garden Terror will be spawning. In comparison, the Tomb of the Spider Queen spiders will spawn up as far as the enemy minion wave or closest structure. So for example, if this wave wasn't here right now, the web weaver would actually crash into this front gate. The last thing I wanted to note in comparison, the garden terrors on Garden of Terror are not going to slowly lose health over time, much like web weavers do on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So little difference right there. So if they do spawn further down the lanes, they're not just slowly decaying over time, but that does change things when it comes to push potential. Avalanche out from the Mei doesn't connect onto anyone, as the bottom lane Garden Terror is still up and available, sitting just below half health, with a quick rotation out from the side of our blue team. Spooky Ghost looking to confirm a fort through the bottom lane, as Rainy Newman on Cassia is looking to poke out a little bit. Fen coming in as well. No stun to connect onto the Cassia, but Diva's going to be able to rush through the enemy side, and it's looking like bottom lane fort should go down. All that's left up and available on the side of Rainy Newman, at least fort-wise, is their top lane. Hope you're doing okay. I'm a good friend. How's Caston? Or are you good? Caston's doing great. Thanks for asking. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming by and checking out the stream. It's been a really fun day of casting. Chat has broken me multiple times. And yeah, we didn't cry on stream. I totally didn't cry on stream. Today's been a really fun day. Today has been a very, very fun day. Mr. 999XXX, thanks for coming by. Saving Gust for next game? Hey, you never know. Sometimes you get a little nervous about casting Gust and you think you need it for another team fight or later in the team fight. I get it. He cried. Clumsy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Clumsy. I don't know what you're talking about. Chat's been super cute. Chat's been super nice, and it's been a very good day of casting. It's been a very good day overall. I got to go into the Nexus, which is for the third time as well. I can't believe they brought me back again. Bit of a dream of mine. I can't believe, like, if you told me 4 years ago when I was sitting in an office miserable, listening to Into the Nexus that I'd be on it one day, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are, and I can't do that because it happens, and it's quite amazing. But yeah, I was on Into the Nexus earlier today, and now we're doing a buttload of casting for the latter half of the afternoon. It's been a good day. It's been a nice, fun day, and we've had some nice raids from A-Move TV as well as from BBJ. So thank you so much. And then we've had some insane donations. Thank you. Just Jesus, chat, you're amazing today. Jesus. I'll cry more after stream. I promise. Don't worry. 16's up on both sides, 12-6 in kills. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what our, let's actually look at some of our APM for this team fight. It's not going to be a seed, or excuse me, it's not going to be a Garden Terror for either side, but at least we can see if the members of Randy Newman will find any sort of advantage in this, as Randy Newman on the Stukov is trying to use the massive shove, but that does lock you into position, and unfortunately that does mean that the Stukov does go down. Falstad free pushing in through top lane does find a fort through that. Leap from Sonya was used to disengage, and looks like we have a bit of a pause in the fight. In the sense of this is going to be our Randy Newman's backing off, but Falstad free pushing through top, trying to just push in and open things up further. Mei comes in, Avalanche does slow down the channel. It's a 90-second cooldown. Bring it back to talents. Actually, no, let's do this. Let's look at the other numbers as well. We haven't looked at those in a little bit. Stukov up in 7 seconds. Rogoth actually being chased away right now, trying just to get their baseline trait to kick off, especially with that level 1 third wind for some extra higher threshold in the healing, but also in the amount in the amount of healing as well. I believe is skilled up on top of that. Randy Woman trying to icing away on this Mei. You don't have a lot of defensive tools. Pops the cryo freeze, avoids the Stormbolt from the Muradin, but still goes down to the Greymane. In bottom lane, we have Majesty pushing things out. Falstad does find the keep through the top lane, so while there was this kill onto Stukov and Mei, Falstad does get a double fort all in all. Another leap out from Majesty. Wow, that was 60 seconds already. Ball Lightning comes out from the Cassia. No 20 talent here, so no infinite Ball Lightning, but this will be a Cassia going down. Don't know if it's worth it now. We're starting to hemorrhage a couple deaths, and this Catapult right now, just want to quickly look. It's going to deal 247, so we're looking at what? Caster math, just under 500 damage onto structures from the catapults themselves, as we're 18 up on both sides, 15-6 in kills. That Falstad split pressure really coming in handy when it comes to this experience deficit that has formed. Well, actually, no experience deficit has formed, but it's 15-6 in kills. Where is the experience going to be mitigated through? Hold on. Heroic kills 11,000 to 4,000, roughly. We're rounding on that. Mercenary kills even higher. Minion, look at that minion difference. Almost 10,000 from the minion deficit. Minion difference, excuse me, in experience. So that's definitely where we're seeing it from that split pressure of the Falstad consistently across Garden of Terror. Another seed to spawn. Siege Giants in through the bottom lane, fighting against a catapult. Definitely Siege Giants win out in that one as the Falstad comes down to clear things out. And this could be seed number 2 over to the side of Spooky Ghost. Will they be able to get it? Camp on the left-hand side will be grabbed a little late, but Murden's in the bush to stall things out, as is just the Stukov looking to clear things out. This is what I was talking about with that optimization of trying to get multiple people on the point to 1, pull, and 2, find the channel. Avalanche comes out, but it's not enough. By the way, it was 13 for that healing static. I was curious about that one either way. Cludius going for the channel. Little Wolf comes in with the phase shift, and it's looking like a second seed over to the side of Spooky Ghost. Sorry, I'm holding my breath to see if Newman gets out of this, and they're going to be fine for now. But look at this wave in through top lane. Well, over here. Over here, this is a different sort of wave. It's a hero wave that comes through and finds the fort. Meanwhile, Falstad and Sonya just grabbing camps, trying to put some pressure against the enemy team as a potential second Garden Terror comes out in favor for the side of Spooky Ghost if they're able to get this channel. That's the big thing. If. Funny enough, it's 16 to 6 in kills, and we almost have advantage in experience to the side of Randy Newman. This Falstad doing a great job, but also able to see this enemy team. Barrel rolls into the enemy team, leaping from the Sonya, chunking into the Falstad. They go down first in the engagement, which they just, I don't know if anyone saw that across my screen. That was very interesting. Phase shift in on from Brightwing onto the Greymane at the last second, is able to bounce or run away. Speaking of bounces, sorry, Cassia threw out the ball. Lightning won't be enough, and Greymane found the kill. Virulent reaction from the Stukov onto this Kael'thas, who I think actually got the soothing mist from the, oh my god, I can't believe it, from the Brightwing, and it's in the end a triple kill over to the side of Spooky Ghosts, who find themselves the second Garden Terror, and this is what I was talking about. Here is going to be as far up as their minion waves are pushed. Look at this bottom wave. This is what I'm talking about. There's no enemy minion wave. The enemy minion wave was cleared out all the way here, but Garden Terror spawns up as far as your minion wave. 3 dead on the opposing side, and are they gonna end here? Can they end here? Is a better question. Falstad up in 9, has Gust. Sonya's defending top lane. Core is starting to fall. This might be Spooky Ghost taking the game here. Let's pull away the talons and see. Kael'thas through the Phoenix on Core, leaping from the Sonya onto the backline, I do believe it is. I think that's, yeah, actually onto the Greymane. Wind Tunnel Falstad buys a little bit of time. The Garden Terrors are working their way in through the lane, though, and this bottom lane, as I said, oh, the snipe onto Falstad with the multi-shot from the Diva as the ball lightning bounces from player to player. Doesn't really matter, though. The core falls, and the series will go over to the side of Spooky Ghost. They take it in a 2-0 fashion. GG. Well played.